All things considered, there's nobody better for children than parents. Obviously, for the children, the parents are not only the best in the world, but they obviously are the most important, significant, relevant, sovereign, and independent types of people or entities in the world, because no one's better for the children than the parents, because the parents understand everything that there is about children and about childish behavior, action, psychology, attitude, and even better than the doctors ever will. So for the children, their parents are the everything in the world. Not even most important or more important or better, but almost everything. So much so, or to the extent that without the parents, the children will be lost. Without the parents, the children will be traumatized, tragical, saddened, and they'll be suffering from a lot of unnecessary sorrows anyways. And that's why those children who lose their parents early in their lives, or who have already lost their parents and raised by the others, are going to encounter trauma, tragedy later in their lives, or they will obviously experience a whole lot of unnecessary kind of mental problems, psychological dysfunctionings, and other spiritual, behavioral problems and dysfunctions in one way or another, not because they signed up for it, but because of the absence of parents, the trauma they experienced at that moment of absence, and because of that extended exposure to absence that made their suffering worse than ever before. And that means the parents are the most important entities in the world under all circumstances, situations, conditions we can imagine or we can possibly suffer from and struggle with in our lives, or we're still experiencing. No one or nothing can be better and more important, significant, necessary, desirable than the parents. And without the parents, we are nothing. And because we are everything, we are obviously because of the parents in one way or another. So the parents sacrificed everything for ourselves, and they always have had some kind of wishes, desires, expectancies from ourselves, which is quite natural. When we have children, we are going to have some kind of wish, expectation or another. Otherwise, we would not have children either. And obviously, we are not only everything that the parents are and whatever their sacrifice done for us, but also we owe everything to the past, because without the sacrifice, compromise, and tragedy undertaken smoothly and happily by the people of the past, we would not be here in the present with science, technology, education, happiness, liberty, freedom, independence, and other things as well. So without the sacrifices of the people who have it, who have been there before, we could not live in the present, because the present exists because of the greatness, sacrifice of the past, and because of the present, the future is